Hello, I'm Billy Stull. I'm the owner of Legendary Audio. And if you're a singer or you know some singers, I think you'll find this information interesting about a new product that we have coming out that's basically the singer's dream. We call it the Gold Channel. Reason is, we know you've seen those multi-million-dollar studios with the million-dollar consoles that are 12, 15 feet wide, where all the big stars record. Well, we know how to make those. And so what we've done is take one channel of those million-dollar consoles and made it where you can plug in and take that channel with you. It's portable, so you can take it to the concert, to your show, to the church, to the podcast, to the broadcast, to your own recording studio, or even another recording studio. You're going to have a wonderful million-dollar vocal chain that you can take anywhere with you. All right, so you got that sound, but there's something, actually some other features that you're going to find very interesting. One, we've put 2 effects loops in there. This is like the singer's pedal board. It's going to sit on the stage in front of the singer. You'll be able to control your own effects with 2 foot switches. So in other words, if you wanted to have reverb on one effect, and then occasionally you want to kick in a delay where you could go A, B, C, 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 you can do that with the foot switch, or any other wild and weird effects that you can control yourself during your show. For instance, you might want something unusual vocally with a bunch of effects on it for an intro. Kick that out, go in, and then you might even want to do a vocal solo in the song, with a boo-dee-dee-doo-doo-dee, whatever, with a bunch of effects on it that will entertain and be something different. The creative door is open on this, and it's something you can do on stage yourself. You can control it. Second of all, there's another feature in there. It's called ICE. I invented this. It's called In Case of Emergency. That's where you get the ICE acronym. And the emergency is distortion in your voice. So it can take certain frequencies, and when you bear down, you can smooth those areas. For instance, today I've got this little right there in my voice. Well, with ICE, I can take that out when I'm talking on the microphone. I'm leaving it in for now. Later I'll show you. We'll demonstrate some of this. But if your voice is, say, weak in the low, let's say you're a country singer, you want to really fatten up that bottom end, you can do this with ICE too, and it's different than EQ. EQ has a curve to it, changes the tone. ICE is your tone. It's just a chunk of sound, and you boost that original sound, your sound, in whatever frequency that it happens to be. And so it's your sound, but it fills in the gaps. But the cool thing is where it takes the distortion out of your voice, or even sibilance. I just whistled a S there. So we can take out those S sibilant sounds too as well. The other feature, and this is the cherry on top, there is a Holy Grail microphone that was used by the Beatles, Buddy Holly, Frank Sinatra, all the early people with hits, and they were only made for a short while in the early 50s after World War II, a tube microphone made in Germany. Well, the modern stars use them now as well if they can find them and can afford them, because they're very expensive now. They go for $20,000, $25,000. Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Ben Folds just sold his he's had for like 30 years for $25,000. I used to own the microphone, the U47, that Buddy Holly sang on, the actual microphone. So I know what that microphone sounds like intimately. What we've done is I've recreated the sound, the texture, the tone of that famous U47, not just any U47, the Buddy Holly U47, which is, I think, the best sounding one I've ever heard, including the Beatles. Of course, the Beatles sound great. But Norman Petty, who was Buddy Holly's producer, flew to Germany to the Neumann factory and picked out by ear the best one that they had. He flew back, recorded Buddy Holly on that microphone. So we have a button, we affectionately call it the Beatle button, and when you engage that, it adds the extra tone from the U47 to your microphone. And you can use just a common micro, an SM58 is what we designed it for. You can use a better mic than that, but you basically can make an SM58, like I'm talking into right now, sound as good as a Neumann U47 tube microphone. That's a big claim, but I'll show you later. We'll demonstrate a little bit of that. So that's kind of the overview of what this gold channel can do. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you a little tour, and then we'll have some sound samples. All right, here's a little tour of the gold channel. This is looking at it from the top. And as you can see, we go down to the input gain. That's your mic gain with a high-pass filter, gets rid of the peep-pops. Then there's the legendary mic sound with a blend, 0 to 100%. And then there's a parametric equalizer, which includes a low-frequency equalizer, mid-frequency equalizer, high-frequency equalizer, and then, of course, your headphones output. We go back to ICE. You see the acronym there in the middle, ICE, in case of emergency. This is the feature that will take out unpleasant frequencies in your voice. It will boost deficient frequency in your voice. It's also a great feedback suppressor. So if there's a feedback, you can dial it right out, and it's just a really useful feature. 2 effects loops. You'll see the 1 and the 2 there. And those are controlled by the foot switch. You can run your effects and control them. And then we have the main and monitor output level, an all bypass switch, the compressor, and then you can see the handles there. Makes it easy to pick up. It's not heavy, but just keep the wear and tear off the chassis. And then there is the gold channel effects control, which allows you to cut the effects in and off with the foot switch. So that's a quick tour of the gold channel. So now I'm going to give you a little sound sample of what the gold channel can do. Right now I'm going just through an SM58 mic, going into the gold channel and straight out to an iPhone 7, which is not a very good recording device, but it's what a lot of people are using these days and have to use for different situations. So just to show you the difference, I'm talking here now, and I'm going to bypass everything on the gold channel except the preamp and let you hear the difference. So here's with the gold channel, here's without the gold channel. Without the gold channel, with the gold channel. Would you want to sound like this, or do you want to sound like this? So that's obvious there. Now, earlier today I mentioned that I have this little in my voice here, and this song that I'm doing, just a little bit of it's Ain't No Sunshine. So the first note is ain't, and we don't want to hear ain't with that little place in my voice today. So I'm going to take that out with ICE. So here's without, ain't no sunshine. Here's with, ain't no sunshine, ain't no sunshine, ain't no sunshine, ain't no sunshine, ain't no sunshine when she's gone, ain't no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine. So you can see how that can take it out. So now I'm going to add a little bit of effects, and then I'm going to add more effects as I go so I can kind of show you the fun you can have with the gold channel and the creativity with effects and things. Just a sample. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, I wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away, And I know, 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 Hey, I better leave the young thing alone, but there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. There's a short demo of some of the things you can do with the Gold channel. I was operating the effects with the foot switches as I was performing the little demo. It starts with a super high quality foundation, and then you can add the features such as EQ, compression, effects, ice, and the legendary mic sound. And speaking of that, if you haven't ever used a Neumann U47, here are some of the characteristics Gold channel has that parallels the U47. They're both very sensitive. Notice when I sang some softer lyrics at the end of some of the phrases, the presence was maintained. In other words, you could hear them clearly, although I was singing softly at that point. That makes for great dynamics and expression. Norman Petty, who was Buddy Holly's producer, said the U47 could pick up a smile. Sometimes a little saliva sound is created when a person smiles. So they're very sensitive. And another common characteristic is that they are very powerful but clean. As I sang louder, the tone stayed pleasant and didn't break up or distort. Even when I recorded straight into an iPhone, which isn't a very good recording system, but I wanted to show the performance at the basic level. A better recording system or a great PA system will really show off your voice through the Gold channel. I wanted to mention a couple more things. Personalization. If you buy a Gold channel, we will engrave your name or your band name on the ID plate on the back panel. Also, if you want to send me a short recording of you singing through your microphone with no music bed, I'll create a profile with custom recommendations for your individual voice. It'll be noted on a recall sheet that you can refer to anytime for your personal settings. Also, you can use Gold channel on acoustic guitar, harmonica, flute, violin, or any instrument that you want to mic or plug in direct. Now, I do want to mention that Kevin Bergen, our senior designer, and myself have both worked with and for Rupert Neve, the legendary pro audio designer. In his over 10 years of working for Mr. Neve, Kevin was heavily involved with designing a $240,000 recording console and many of the other products, including the Neve K4 preamp for Taylor guitars. The K in K4 stands for Kevin. Gold channel will be a great choice for performing or recording with Taylor or other acoustic guitars. Rupert Neve designed the Masterpiece analog mastering system for and with me, creating our first product and the reason to start Legendary Audio. The only other individual that I know of that he custom designed a product for was George Martin, the Beatles producer, so I'm in amazing company. One last thing, any singer of any level would love to perform with the Gold channel. If you're a supporter of music and musicians, consider purchasing one or more for your favorite artist to use. Also, having a rental unit or two would be a good business idea for entrepreneurs. Singers would rent them for performances, recordings, and rehearsals. But I want to thank you for watching this. You can contact me, Billy Stull, at billy@legendaryaudio.com.